Thanks to KYRIE IRVING, the Celtics win an overtime thriller against the Toronto Raptors. My name is Mike Petraglia. This is Josue Pavon inside the Garden. This Garden Report is brought to you by 1-in-100. Go to 1in100.co now and register for your chance to win killer Pats, Celtics, and Bruins tickets, as well as concert tickets for the price of a beer or a large pizza. Go to 1in100.co now. What can you say about KYRIE IRVING, Josue, on this Friday night? It was spectacular. 43 points, 11 assists. He came through when the Celtics needed him the most. Celtics trailed in this game 107-103. They force overtime and win it in overtime. 43 for KYRIE, 21 for Jason Tatum.
It's incredible because Trags, it's not just the scoring, right? It's also the defense. It's also him getting loose balls, making the effort, and of course other guys helping him out as well. You know, you look at this Raptors team and how tremendous they are and how deep they are, and you look at someone like KYRIE IRVING where they just couldn't find a response for him. They didn't know how to stop him, Trags. I mean, at this point, it seems like KYRIE IRVING, I mean, maybe a little too early here, but maybe not. Could be one of those guys that we could say down the road, easily one of the best fourth quarter Celtics performers we've ever seen, up there with Paul Pierce and the rest of them that came before Paul. I mean, that's how good he is, and doing it against the Toronto Raptors, he made himself a statement. Got to
tell you, Josue, watching this game tonight, all I could think about is one question. What if the Celtics had Kyrie in the postseason last year?
Yes, and we're talking NBA Finals trip. Don't know what happens after that, but at least we know that he can bring them that far. You know, a lot of teams know that KYRIE IRVING's getting the ball, and they still can't stop him. This is a great defensive team in the Toronto Raptors, and they just couldn't slow him down. And then when it came down to the Raptors to, you know, come up big at the end of regulation, it was Marcus Morris coming up big defensively. That's how important Marcus Morris has been. Of course, Kyrie has been the most important player for this Celtics team, but Marcus Morris is right underneath. I mean, for both a guy who can do it on both ends of the floor, coming off the bench, coming up big in the clutch. This is just the first of many throughout the regular season for him and, of course, KYRIE IRVING.
Great point, Josue, because Marcus Morris, Mook, showed just how important he was in returning to the lineup here on Friday night in this victory. He was the one who had the assignment of Kawhi Leonard when everybody in the building knew when he was isolated with 15 seconds to go in regulation, he was going to take the last shot. To be honest, Kawhi got a good look.
He got a really good look. But Marcus, give credit to Marcus Morris, though. He didn't give up. You know, he did. You know, Kawhi Leonard managed. Exactly. Kawhi managed to create the space, but he didn't give up. He got an arm in his face. He did the best he could from his, you know, vantage point at that point of the sequence. But he stayed in front of him, really stayed in front of him until, what was it, about 3 or 4 seconds when Kawhi had to make his move and, of course, give him effort because he was the guy one-on-one taking down Kawhi Leonard.
And then you had to love the way the Celtics began overtime. They really were aggressive with Kyrie and Jason Tatum. I tweeted during this game, the one thing about this game, it can't be all Kyrie. And it was, for the most part, a KYRIE IRVING performance. But when you take a look at overtime, Jason Tatum came through big.
He did. He did. Gordon Hayward made some big free throws, sort of sealed the deal there down the stretch. But, of course, KYRIE IRVING, you know, it begins and it starts and ends with him, what he did in the fourth quarter, setting the tone. And we kind of knew going into the fourth quarter, Kyrie's going to have to do this because they were up against it. You know, the Toronto Raptors did a really good job of getting to the free throw line in the third quarter. Because of that, they were able to create space. They got a 10-point lead, the biggest lead of the night. Heading into the fourth quarter, you knew it had to be one of those nights for Kyrie, for the Celtics to get out of this one, and that's exactly what we saw.
All right, the Celtics get their second huge home court win of the year. Their first one against the Milwaukee Bucks, I thought, but this one was even bigger. They beat the #1 team in the Eastern Conference coming in, the 12-win Toronto Raptors, who, by the way, lost their third straight game here tonight. The Celtics get a win. They improved to 9-6 on the season. No rest for the weary. The Celtics at least don't have to hop on a plane. They play the Utah Jazz, who were beaten by the Philadelphia 76ers on Friday night. You know, the Jazz and Celtics play here at TD Garden on Saturday night. This has been the Garden Report. The Celtics win a thriller in overtime, 123-116 over the Toronto Raptors. This Garden Report has been brought to you by 1-in-100. Go to 1in100.co now for your chance to win in a raffle killer Bruins, Celtics, and Patriots tickets, as well as concert tickets here in New England for the cost of a pizza or a beer. Go to 1in100.co now. He's Josue Pavon. I'm Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.